Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Somewhere with Skye on the Cosa Nostra Radio. The Cosa Nostra Radio is a group on allpoetry.com, the largest poetry site in the world. And we always like to say thank you to Kevin and his crew for all they do and keeping this site up and running and giving us a place to read and share our poetry. And thanks to Boo and Jay for having the blog talk and giving us a place to share life. Tonight we are doing a book versus movie, and we will be featuring The Color Purple, which is a 1982 novel by American author Alice Walker, which won a 1983 Pulitzer Prize for Fiction and the National Book Award for Fiction. It was later adapted into a film, into a musical of the same name. And it takes place mostly in rural Georgia. The story focuses on the life of an African-American woman in the southern United States in the 1930s, addressing numerous issues including low position in American social culture. And, so we've got my opinion on the book versus movie. I just read it recently. It's been on my to-do list for quite a while. I spent Thanksgiving, I think, reading most of it, and it was really good. So I put up some quotes, and people can really go and anywhere they want to with the quotes. They didn't have to stay on topic. They could write about the characters, the movie itself, the book itself, or any of the quotes and take it in any direction they would like. So it's going to be a fun night, lots of poetry. We already got some callers. And so before I let in my callers, I do want to give a little shout-out to the music that was our open. It is by an artist called Lost in Scores. They have a great YouTube channel along with some other venues of social media. And I'm actually going to post that right on the board. So if you guys want to check them out, they do an amazing instrumental composition. They're just absolutely wonderful. We're actually going to close out with them as well. And without further ado, let me bring on my first caller here. Hello, Brandy.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, a little cold, but, yeah. I'm turn the heat up in a minute. It's cold. It's cold air. It was warm today, so they said, but the wind whips around, get a chill through your bones.
I do know how that is up here in New Hampshire. I'm glad to have you with us. We have another caller. Hello, Wayne.
How's it going, Skye? Excuse me. How's it going, Skye?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Brandy, how you doing, Brandy?
Oh, you know me, sugar. Got roped into doing something, being paid to make something else.
Yeah, it's like that every day of my life. Doing fine, Skye.
Well, I do want to say hello to Jack on the board and Becky, who will be calling in a little bit later. Wonderful to have you aboard and listening. And Brandy is a read and run. So what I'm going to do, Brandy, is I'm going to drop you. I'm going to have you read, and then we'll get you to comment. And then I will give you a little bit of time at the end of the comment to talk about your upcoming show. You have one coming up?
Yes. All right. I just guessed because Jay messaged me. Said, do you got a poem related to the show? And I said, I think I do. But let's go. It's an old one. No one's heard it or whatever. But anywho, it's called Wildflowers in the Sun. And it goes like this. Every weekend of summer, we knew the vines of barbed wire were teeming with wild blackberries, while cherries grew in season on the tree across the Sinai Road. Remembering those times of carefree mirth, of waiting to have freshly made biscuits for the preservatives. Oh, those times. Scratched up, scraped up, or scraped up. None of us cared. just knowing what tomorrow brought in store for us. Clamoring around with anticipation of acknowledgement that today was another great day to spend time with them, just like wildflowers in the wind of summer in poem.
Oh, this is excellent. When did you write this? 5 years ago? This is beautiful. Have you read the book or seen the movie?
I've actually saw the movie before I read the book.
Movie? And what did you think? Good movie?
Yeah, I loved the movie. But now they play it too much on TV.
Yeah. Well, what I like about the poem in relation to that is the book is a coming of age story in itself, in parts of it, and this is kind of and it goes through such a series of a lifetime really, and that is kind of like what you're doing here. You're reflecting on a coming of age, on growing up, on the memories of that. And I really, really loved this. I feel like it's a different style than you kind of have now, but I really appreciate the style that you have. It is I don't know, it's relatable. I can settle in and enjoy it, with the carefree mirth awaiting to have freshly made fits for the preservatives. Oh, the sound of those times. And I love how you bring in so many senses. You bring in taste. You bring in visuals, with the cherries grew in the season across, I'm not sure what that, it must be the name of a road, but
people pronounce Sinai, but people out around here call it Sinai. It's different,
okay.
pronounced differently with everybody.
Different accents, yeah. So you can, I'm seeing those cherries, I'm seeing those wild blackberries, but then I'm tasting these biscuits, and then I'm hearing these sounds. You really, really delve into such diverse scents. And then down at the end, this is brilliant. It's phrasing here, just like wildflowers in the wild summer. I really, really loved that. And then again, clamoring out anticipation. Another great day we spend with them. It sounds like a really great place to be, and I really, really love the pace in which you say it and how you share your memories. Really, really well done, Brandy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wayne.
Yes,
what do you think about
Brandy,
that?
the longest poem. This is the longest poem that I've ever heard of hers, and it's by far my favorite. I like it a lot. It's written very poetically, just like the wildflowers in the wind of summer. It don't get any better than that, except with the cherries and blackberries and the preservatives and the biscuit. It makes me about halfway hungry. This is a great poem. You just do a wonderful job on it, and I like it a lot. You painted a good picture. Great job.
And don't you know, I still know how to make preservatives the right way after all these years. I learned how to do them at 5 years old, and here it is. I'm going to be 40 in 2 weeks.
Takes a lot of sugar to make. My mom used to make them all the time.
40 in 2 weeks, so that's 35. That'll be 35 years of doing them the right way.
I don't like regular jelly. I only like preservative. Like when people get like jams or jellies, I'm like, no, I just want preservatives. I want it in there. That's how I want it.
I won't go
Love
for nothing less. Thank you.
Blackberry preservatives got a lot of seeds in it, but it's awful good.
Yeah, now I'm hungry. I had blackberries yesterday. I got some at the store and I ate the whole thing. So good.
Believe it or not, if you go to farmers markets, they'll have them.
I know, they're so delicious. This is a wonderful poem, Brandy. Thank you. Do you want to tell us about your show?
All right. Next week, this is what's going to happen. New year, new change. Instead of Sultry Saturday with Miss Brandy, it'll be the name of the show from here on out will be House, like house, but, I went gaga on it. House, HAUS, A Seduction with Madam Brandy premieres. And this time I'm looking for fresh rights because I gave you a whole list of my adult, central, and sultry list. what you're gonna do is basically you can write up to 2 different poems, but the prompts got to be different. You can be inspired by the title, the whole poem, or the image of the poem. You can mix and match however you want, but it got to be different. If you use the image, I ask if you got paid, membership to post the image to it, so I know which prompt you use. But mix and match, keeping time with the minute, with the limit, line limit, because I want to allow for people to comment. No 10-year rights, please. My attention span will go dull after that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it sounds fun. I like the new name, and sounds pretty cool. And I know that you said you have to read and run, but if you are more than welcome to stay as long as you can and drop off when you need to. Let me see here.
Yeah, but I'm dozing off, so I'm
Okay.
really dozing off because I've been up since 5 a.m. my time.
That's too early. It's too early for me.
I don't know why.
Well, thank you for calling, Brandy. I do appreciate it.
Y'all come join this show now. Don't leave her alone with the man beast.
Well, I've got Sticky calling in, and Sal was calling in. We've got people calling in. I know Boo will be here, so we'll be good.
All right.
I do
behave yourself, Wayne.
I do have a SoundCloud from Mr. Jack Duran, which is pretty cool. Let's drop that down here.
I'll stick around for that.
Okay. Let's see. It's like a treat here. Got Mr. Jaskaran, and I messed up these things. Hey, Wayne, have you ever seen the movie? Read the book? Oh, you said you didn't, right?
Yeah, I saw the movie, but it's, I didn't get into it much. I don't think. I just was kind of like sometimes watching and kind of dozed off and went to Never Land. I didn't really get much out of it. I know what it's about, but I just didn't get much out of it. I'm not much into movies. I can't keep my train of thought long enough to watch a movie very long.
I don't watch too much TV as of lately. Okay, here we go. All right, Mr. Jack.
Tick-tock. A shaky breath falls from my lips. As I paint my way calm, an offshore artwork with hidden nuance. Autumn below cries, disturbing placid waters with golden brown tears. I can still smell. Raindrops slowly dripping, giving a titillating effect on skin. Red spilled upon leaves. As autumn paints its way, falls hues replacing flowers. The unfolding of the withered leaves. Cherry blossoming in spring. I still remember bringing you coffee in bed. Your lonely lipstick kiss on the still burning cigarette. My lust aroused by the burning smoke after you have gone, living in a castle built of your ashes. The sunset paints the red horizon as I ponder what light remains. The bird grows dark behind me, and everything continues to change. All my family friends have vanished in the sadly approaching darkness. I have my moon singing the silent lullaby to the faded souls. And the one.
Excellent. I love hearing his voice as of late, sending in all these SoundClouds. This was just, I really loved this piece. I thought it was brilliant. Let's see, where was this? The sunset paints the red horizon as I ponder what light remains. The world grows dark behind me, and everything continues to change. To me, these lines are so powerful. I mean, there were so many other messages in here, but the idea of trying to hold that light kind of almost barring off the darkness that goes around. And change is really hard for everybody. And I think, again, with age and with different relationships changing, it can really kind of flip you upside down. And there were so many images here that I loved. The autumn willow cries. I'm really, really, with golden brown tears, love that. And then the raindrops, again, bringing in those tears and that sadness through nature, which I thought was brilliant. Again, and then he holds the nature metaphors with the red build upon leaves as autumn paints its way, fall hues replacing flowers. And autumn and fall is such a season used to describe change and often used through metaphor to describe a death of something or an end of something. And it doesn't mean a literal death, but a dying of something and perhaps growing dark and bare. And the days grow shorter and darker and are dark longer. So this entire metaphor he has through the seasons and through fall and the change, and then getting into the next one where it says you staying naked in sheets. You start to realize that perhaps this is about not nature at all, but about a relationship, and perhaps it's one that's changing or ending for some reason. And then into the next stanza with it, he's still holding light and perhaps hope for that. And because of all those reasons, I thought this was so, so powerful. And he wrote to the quote that was from the book, "Time moves slowly but passes too quickly." And he did a wonderful job with that quote. Really, really well done. Brandy, what do you think?
It's the same quote used could be looked at in about 5 or 6 different ways depending on person. And he took the best route for him and went and just ran with it, because he took like it's like he didn't hold back on his thoughts about it. He used metaphors like they were like a cakewalk in a park,
Yeah,
and all
they
this
really
stuff.
were.
Yeah, he ran with it, and that's why I like. He just not only stuck to the theme of the show topic, but he went the extra 3 or 4 miles to make sure it's within his words, his creativity, his brain. Yes.
Awesome comment. And Wayne.
Yeah, I said, wow, you're not painting. I said, wow, you're not painting obscure with this poem. You've written a masterpiece. And I like what you wrote. And I like when you wrote this stanza. I still remember bringing your coffee in bed, you staying naked in sheets, your lovely lipstick kiss on a burning cigarette. You write with such realism. You put the reader in the poem with you. It shows a lot of emotion in this poem, and it's sad, but it's described perfectly. I think you did a wonderful job, and it relates to so much. Great job with this, and I like it a lot. Good job.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wayne. I know I do. I did not let them in the middle of comments. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's time for me to go. Me and my pillow are going to be the best of friends.
All right. Thank you.
So thank you for letting me stick around. Good night, y'all. Hey, Wayne.
See you soon.
So I don't have Holly on my call list, so I'm not sure. I know someone asked to be held on hold. I don't know who that is. So, hello, caller.
That's me.
657. Is that 657?
That's me,
You'd
Polly.
like to
It's
place
Polly.
on hold?
Hey, Polly.
Okay.
I am here, Paul. It's Polly.
Hello, Paul. And hello, 269. Hello, caller 269. Hello?
269, where are you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is. but they are not muted. If you're muted, I can't hear you. I'm not sure about that. 269, if you want to call back in or because I'm not sure, you're not coming through.
Stage fright.
Right. Stage fright. Okay, well, Wayne, now how much time do you have, Wayne?
I probably got another hour at the most. I'll probably be here to I don't know, just but your time be 10, probably 10, probably 9, 10, probably 10 o'clock, something like that.
All right, I guess I'm a little confused here. All right, Polly, you don't want to stay on hold, correct? You can not be on hold?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought I
All
was
right,
in
I got
detention or something. What did I do?
No. I think I did. I got a little confused there because I don't have you guys on my call list, and I'm not sure who calls and who stays on hold. But we got it figured out.
Well, I have you on my call list.
You do? Oh my goodness.
Wow, I do now.
I need to get with it. All right, hold on. I'm putting you on right now. I'm going to stop the whole show and write this down. Let's see. There we go.
Coach.
Now you are officially on the call list. All right.
Appreciate it.
So, Polly, have you ever seen the movie? Read the book?
I saw the movie
Enjoyed it?
a couple times. Yeah, it was good. It was a good movie. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover.
Yeah, some good. And I will say hello to Meta. I think they're on hold. He's on the board. All right, now we got that all settled. All right. I am going to drop Wayne next. And
Well,
I'll drop it easy. Don't worry. Don't panic.
Yeah, I wrote this about an hour ago. I was trying to think what to write for your show, so I was looking over the quotes, and so I picked out one of the quotes and just went off kind of silly writing about it. But it's the first line is the quote I used, and the poem's called "Say What," and it goes like this. And I can't fix my mouth to say how I feel, but that doesn't keep me from running it still. Don't know how to paint with a word. I got the strangest voice you ever heard. I try to talk with my mouth really wide. I embarrass myself and want to hide. I try to whisper things nice and sweet, and end up at night tasting my feet. Sometimes I speak, I make things worse, then I get mad and start to curse. Can't talk right when I try to think. I really slur when I decide to drink. I mumble, stutter, and talk fast. But everything I've tried just doesn't last. Once I even wrote down what to say, and somehow I lost the words that day. I could read what I thought, then I could tell. If I went back to school and learned how to spell, at least I know 8 words that rhyme. Guess I keep using them all the time. Ian?
This is a really creative way to take this, Wayne. I can definitely understand this, and I know you mask some things with humor, I think. And when you talk about scrambling around words, believe it or not, Wayne, I've had for the first 14 years of my life really, really intense speech therapy, and because of my cleft palate. So I definitely can understand when he says I'm sometimes when I speak make things worse, then I get mad and start to curse, and then I can't talk right. And whenever you get nervous or angry, all those years of speech therapy just kind of roll right out the window. It's done and over with. And even though you kind of went very humorous and which you did wonderfully, I still think there's a little bit of a hidden message here, a more deeper one when it comes down to that. I just embarrass myself. I want to hide, try to whisper things nice and sweet, and I end up the night tasting my feet. And I thought that was a really, really clever way to say putting your foot in your mouth. Yep. It's a common phrase, but the way that you wrote it was very creative, very inventive, and I wasn't quite expecting it with that catch rhyme, which is always really I love when people kind of catch me on surprise. And your rhyme and flow always brilliantly done, really, really well done, Wayne.
Well, thank you.
Comment from Polly on this.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, you always write about yourself, and I admire that because I do the same thing, even though I might put it into a third person, or sometimes I'll write about a female, but that female is going through everything I just went through. So I don't know why I do that. It's just my way of kind of deterring the focus away from me. Anyways, but yeah, you're very open. You're very raw, and I like that. I like that kind of writing. Very honest, true to yourself. That's
Like
what
it
I was
is.
looking for. True to yourself.
That's what I try to be. Great comment.
Which we all should try to strive to be.
Pretty accurate too.
Right.
You know, Wayne, if you're not yourself, I don't know who you'll be.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I just want to be me.
That's the only person to be. All right, we've got another caller here, and this is my friend, Becky.
I am a friend. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Hi.
Glad to be here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So I'm trapping everybody, asking everybody the same question I ask every month that I do these shows. Do you ever see the movie? You read the book?
Both. Mm-hmm.
Both. What do you think?
Both.
How did they do? Like, what do you think about both, and then what do you think about how they remade it? How they made it into the movie? You think they did a good job?
Yes, absolutely. I don't often think that. I'll be perfectly honest. Books do not get portrayed well in movies. You just cannot capture a book fully. But as far as the movies go for books, yes, I thought it was excellent. The writing, the acting, just all of it, the story. I mean, of course, all that came from the book, but they kept that theme of the story, the letter writing. So I thought it was pretty good, really, for a movie.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny how you mentioned the letter writing because you know I've been a long fan of the movie. I'm a big reader, you know that, and it's been on my list to read for a very long time. And I finally got around and read it, and I didn't realize it was written in a series of letters. So when I started reading, I was like, "What's happening?" Because I've never read a book like that. And I was like, I'm like, I don't really understand what's happening, and I had to really kind of adjust myself. And then I realized, oh, this is really brilliant done this way, because you really, and then the writing too. The writing is how she speaks. So
it's really
it was like
exactly.
It was really interesting how.
She pulled that off. I think it would be hard to keep the reader and keep the story with the letters. I mean, not that it can't be done. She showed it can be done, but I'm sure that's not an easy task. And it was really done well. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and I've never seen a book like that done that way, and again, it took me a minute to adjust myself, and then I was like, oh, this is actually quite brilliant, and
if I could run in, the other movie I thought they did that with, it was the True Grit, the reboot. They did exactly like the book is written. The language was, you know, wasn't the usual language. It was just, it was how, you know, in the South they would speak back then. Yeah. It was very interesting.
Makes it authentic.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so exactly. I know, Paul, you haven't called into, this is your first time here on Book versus Movie, so welcome. Just so you know, I do encourage some discussion about the book and the movie, and when we're doing that, you feel free to hop into the conversation. Yeah, as long as we're not cutting it. As long as everybody's not cutting everybody off, you know.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, but when we're having conversations with a book, you know, and you, feel free to definitely add, and because that's one of my favorite things about doing this specific show is to talk about the book a little bit. So,
Okay.
Let's see, Frank needs the
my
number.
My favorite part of the movie was when that lady was showing up and she was running, and Whoopi Goldberg was running around the house trying to fix up and look very pretty for her. And she opens the door and that girl looks at you and goes, "This show is ugly."
Yeah. You was dressing up for her.
I about fell out of my chair. I laughed so hard. That poor lady, she's trying to fix herself up. I mean, tore her down. But they became good friends, you know.
Yeah.
So that
I thought it was hilarious.
That line was taken directly from the book.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Show is ugly. I was like, damn. I laughed so hard. Everybody looked at me in the theater like I was an idiot. I go, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
It was very, very funny. Oh, my goodness. All right. Before we let Paul read, let me let Frank in here. Oh, no, I don't know if that's Frank.
Oh,
This
no,
is
it's
Hillary.
I thought Frank was here, too. I was just waiting.
No. I double-checked. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think that's Frank. I think that's Hillary. How are you doing? Everybody, this is Vicky Hart. All right.
How you doing?
How's it going tonight?
This is Frank. Here he is. Hello, Frank.
Hello.
What about it, Frank?
Well, I had some time. I figured I'd come out and hang out with you guys. It's good.
All right, so me and Becky and Holly were just having a little fun talking about the book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop Holly and then have him read, and then I will ask my age-old question to first Hillary, and then we'll drop another one, and then I will ask Frank. That way we're doing a little bit in between reading some poetry. All right.
Okay.
So glad you guys are all here tonight. And without further ado, Paul, you have the mic.
Okay. Well, this poem I wrote yesterday. It's a funny poem, and it's written in the Southern lingo, so because it's a country song. So here you go. It's called "Walking on Eggshells." So I've been trying not to walk on the eggshells you've been casting on the path that I'm walking on. Since we become official, oh girls, how you have changed literally overnight. Since we've been fighting and you stopped cooking, I've been eating in town at the diner. But today, as I was strolling by the newsstand just to say howdy to Dan, there it was, a scandal in our town. Well, I'll be damned. I was reading in the local paper for more information on the scandal, and there on the front page, typed out in the biggest letters I ever seen, it said, "Egg shortage, no end to sight." Looks as if they have been stolen overnight. Maybe weasels, could be coyotes. I thought, hell no, that sounds like my wife. I've been trying not to walk on the eggshells you've been casting on the path I'm walking on since we become official. Oh, girl, how you have changed literally overnight. I got to thinking and wondering, has my dear lady gone crazy? More importantly, why haven't I had one omelet for breakfast? So I got to more thinking, we only fight in the morning. She's still sweet on me in the evening. And I know she ain't the brightest light bulb in the package. But damn, she sure is pretty. So why then is she throwing eggshells on the ground? I marched into the kitchen, a crunching and a crackling. I asked her, darling, just what in the hell possessed you to go rob the egg farm for their eggs, just to unshell them and throw them on the ground, all around the house? And with the sweetest voice, she told me, Betsy down at the parlor said, honey, if your man is too cheap to get you something nice this Christmas, make him walk on eggshells all around his own house. I've been trying not to walk on eggshells. I've been trying not to walk on eggshells. You've been casting on the path I'm walking on since we've become official. Oh, girl, how you have changed literally overnight in a poem. Hello?
Excellent, right. Yeah, I put myself on mute when
I'm sorry, I don't know why I hyperventilate when I read. I don't know. It's a mental thing. Son of a bitch.
Sometimes when I read, I'll practice reading it. And then there are just some nights that No, I mean that's what I mean. And you get there, and sometimes I still get I still get really nervous. Actually, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Miss Sweet, who I just brought on board, will tell you that I have this trick where I have to literally knead my hands together while I'm reading. Most of the time when I read live, like knead. You know how you knead your hands. You know how like you knead your hands, like you rub your hands together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm doing that right now. Oh yeah.
I'm on the show every night, Polly, and I still have to do that a lot of times that I read. And I'm on the show every. I gotta tell you, a lot of the times I still do that. So I get it. I really do. And this was a lengthy poem, you know. So you start off, you're like, yeah, and then you're like halfway through, like, oh, this is a little bit lengthy. So I totally get it. Well, you did a great job. Yeah, you did a wonderful job with it. I got to tell you, this was a great story. And Meta goes on the board. He wrote. I love when Oprah. He said Oprah Winfrey kicking her BS ass was so funny. And in the movie, actually, that it was so like relative to your poem. This type of relationship, this little argument here. And it was so relevant of me to actually say that comment right before this because it is kind of relatable. But what I loved about it was the cleverness of the metaphor of the eggshells. So when you're like, there's an egg shortage, and then then I'm like, she has me walking on eggshells, and then it clicked. Your metaphor between with that and the eggshells. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That is a brilliant use of kind of thing.
Well, I like how he asked the question why he did have an omelet every morning. What's she doing with the eggs?
Yeah, and then putting them on the floor, and then having that metaphor of eggshells. How many times do you say, "Oh, I'm walking on eggshells because I don't want to make anybody mad," but to actually put that in place in the storytelling. I really thought that was absolutely brilliant. I was like, oh, that's a really clever way to do it. And I liked how you kind of went in and you wove your the same words, the refrain kind of back in and forth into the piece. And I think we should get on here. And
it's a song.
Yeah, that's what you said at the beginning. So I like how you kind of have that. And I'm thinking, like, we got to get Dan on here and kind of do something with this. Dan would enjoy it.
It's kind of the punchline too,
Excellent piece. Let me get some comments for you. Let me bring on the first commenter. I usually do in order, but I'm going to bring on Sweet and say hi to her.
Okay.
Hello.